Welcome. My name is Yusuf Kabiru David. You are welcome to another edition of our program, which is Abomination. And today we'll be talking abomination based on school environment perspective, the activities that is being done in the school premises, and we have some of our guests here, and they are going to introduce themselves one after the other.
Good afternoon. I'm Banim Fatima. Good afternoon. My name is Jacinta.
My name is Ibrahim.
Welcome, we welcome you guys to another edition of our program. You guys are highly welcome. You guys look good and charming. Talking about abomination, we are still going to emphasize more on abomination, but this time around it will be based on academic aspects. And previously we talk about abomination, which we discuss about abomination due to our culture and our tradition. So today edition is all about academic, and here our guests today are all students, which they will be shedding more light or going in depth concerning abomination. So firstly, let's start with our gentleman over here. Mr. Unisa, what can you tell us concerning abomination, or what do you understand about abomination within the school premises?
Well, thank you for this lively question. When you talk of abomination in an academic setting, abomination simply means it's an act or any immoral act that is not acceptable within the academic discipline. And when you talk of abomination, there are a lot of behaviors that are considered as abominable. When we talk of those behaviors, like examination malpractice is part of those abominable acts of a student to indulge in such kind of act. Examination malpractice is another abominable act that caught, cheating an exams, he is going to dealt accordingly because examination malpractice is part of the abominable act within the school premises. And apart from that, there are a lot of abominable acts within the school premises. There is also indecent dress, indecent dressing, in the sense that the way you dress, that's how you'll be addressed. So it is expected of you as a good student, you need to dress properly in a way that it will not distract, the lectures cycle, or will not distract even your classmates, or even talk less of the teachers. Apart from that, there are a lot of things that are considered abominable. You know, harassment, be it different ways. There is sexual harassment, and there is even a kind of harassment whereby you harass someone, attack someone, verbally or even physically. So those kind of things are being considered as abominable. That's the things that are unacceptable within the academic cycle.
Oh, thank you, Mr. Ibrahim. You have done justice to abomination. Ms. Jacinta, what do you think is the cause of this abomination within the school premises? Because some people think maybe abomination, this abomination of a thing is being caused maybe like from the parent side, like sending your child to school, you didn't give him home training, and when he gets to school, he start misbehaving, and those are the things that is being considered abomination. So, what do you think that caused this abomination that is not accepted in the school premises?
Yes, like you rightly said, home bringing also cause a child to act in a way that is not acceptable. For instance, maybe the parents that gave birth to a child, a girl child, maybe when she's growing up, the mother or the father will not discipline the child due to what he or she did. The child will grow up with that indecent dressing. Maybe, for instance, those that grew up in the East, or even in the school premises, they allow them to wear the short dresses. Maybe someone that grew up in the East with that dress code coming to not to school, and he or she dressed the way she's dressing in the East, coming to class in the North, those in the North or the lecturers might see her as putting on indecent. It is now left for her or those in the school to give her the advice that they don't dress like this. In the aspect of this indecent dressing, some places it's not a bad behavior, and some places it's a bad behavior. That's what I have to say about that.
Thank you so much. Talking about academic section, there are some acts during lecturing or during class period. Some student will portray, which to lecturer, they considered it as an abomination. Can you just shed more light concerning that aspect?
Thank you very much for asking me this very particular question because I've been having issues with some of my classmates during lectures. You see, it comes to a time whereby a lecturer will be there lecturing. Even if you don't want to listen to him, you allow those that are sitting, those that came to school, not to come and be chatting or chatting with their friends, their phones. Some people will be watching movies, making noise, and also an act of disrespect. There is no how your lecturer is in the class like, teaching you people, and then you be concentrating on just chatting or be talking with your friends, allowing those disturbing those that are here to study, those that are here to pick up one or two things, disturbing them from not listening to the lecture. I think that is not good, and we have to think of a way to rectify it.
So, have a nice point there. We really appreciate. Um, Coming back to you, Mr. Unisa, in class there are different types of sexual harassment, which some even it can be bullying, and you see bullying as some are part of the thing that is considered abomination within the school premises. So, can you share more light, or can you tell us how this affects the academic sector?
Well, thank you very much. When you talk of, we're talking about sexual harassment, right? When you talk of sexual harassment, a lecturer can harass a student, and also a student can also harass a student. A lecturer will ask a student that if you submit yourself to me, I will give you A in my course. You see, that one seriously is very implicating, and it will destroy the quality of education not only in Nigeria but in the entire world. Seriously, because when you give someone what he doesn't deserve, there is a lot of
Yeah,
implication.
I think Ms.
Yeah,
Fati has been.
due to what he said, there are some lecturers are asking their students for sex to give them marks. But to me, some of the lecturers, I would not say no. Let me just say some of them. I would not say all of them.
Yes, yes.
And the way he said, dress the way you want to be addressed.
Yeah.
You understand? So it's left for your own character, your own behavior, your appearances that matters. Because there's no any lecturer that will just come to someone that looks decent. He doesn't even know if she's married or he doesn't even know.
Yeah,
Or
but sorry, in this aspect, you know that there are some people that yes, they will dress decent, they will dress good, but due to the attractiveness of maybe your kind of shape, you're
he,
beautiful, you are a good, responsible student, but due to the lecturer need your attention, so he will find a means to like harass you. Oh, I like you. I want us to have something in common. You understand that kind of thing, but due to the reason why you are in school, you are in school to study. You understand, but due to the grade that you are looking for, the man will use that opportunity to lure you. You understand? So these are
okay, but I would like to ask you in person this particular question. What grade are you looking for? If you come to school, you're studying, you read well, at least you know you're capable of getting the marks you need.
yes,
Okay?
yes, but
So don't take yourself to the situation whereby you go and be asking for marks.
no, it's not you asking for marks. You understand? There are some lecturers that they have their means of getting students. That is just the real fact.
Yeah.
So, like for instance, now maybe due to I like you as a lecturer, but you refuse my proposal, I can use that to hold you down. Like giving you instead of me giving you A in your exam, then I can give you F just for me to show you that yes, I'm capable of doing it. Since you don't want me to be having
Yeah.
a date with you, you understand. So those are the bullying that we are trying to talk. Like these are the abomination that we considered in the school premises, and those are the challenges, unwanted element that you are still talking about in the school
Still goes
premises.
in two ways.
Okay.
Have you heard of a student harassing a lecturer sexually? It's not just lecturers. So it goes in two ways.
Yes,
It goes in two ways. That is it.
depends.
Some students can decide to not frame to
Mm.
up a lecturer. Of course, maybe they don't like some students don't like some certain lecturer. Maybe they will say, "God, this lecturer is too strict. I will deal with him. He will not even allow you to come to class late. If you if you didn't come, he will mark you fail. So let us gang up and frame him up." Student does that. Some is not only the lecturers. Yes, we also know that lecturers sometimes maybe the student is trying to like show that guy I'm stubborn, I have money more than the lecturer. They want to like feel pompous. The lecturer might want to calm the person down, but
yeah,
they all go into
Because it's not only at home that we learn discipline.
yes, yes, that is just
So
that is
when
just
a
it.
lecturer
Even in
does that,
school.
I think he's right.
And for us to
Because
balance,
And again, there is one other thing that is kind of getting rampant that I think should be we should not just look it as if it's a normal thing. This issue of courtesan is another big challenge in school factor. And we see all those things as an abomination, total abomination in school sector. Please, Mr. Unisa, shed more light concerning this.
well, thank you very much for this question. When you talk about, cultism, most especially, nowadays, students engage in such kind of act. They will just, go and initiate themselves in one particular gang or group of, cultist group, something of that nature. So in that aspect, that's what a lot of, sometimes, a student will say, I will go and meet a lecturer directly and say, I want you to give me A in your course. And if you refuse to give me that A, I'm going to physically attack you, and anything will happen to you. So that fear, that normal student that initiate themselves in that cult group will instill fear in the mind of that lecturer, and the lecturer will feel fear, and he will maybe even give that student that particular marks that he exactly something of that nature.
Yes, actually, you are right. But do you know that some of those lecturers themselves, they are still inside this court of the thing that we are saying. So I think it's something that is just like students and lecturers. And these things are things that no, if we look at our academic sector very well, these are the things that we should consider seriously and we should just eradicate such acts. Also, yes, you have said a good point there. Miss Jacinta, I want you to like you said indecent dressing, just the way you said the other time. You know, there are some dressing that you dress to you are good to go. But when you came to the school premises, they will look at this girl dressed indecent, like you know, we said your appearance matters a lot. There are some kind of dressing you dress, okay, just the way we normally dress, students normally dress to school, but not all dressing that what what some lecturer will consider as indecent dressing. So what kind of dressing do you think a student should dress that no, it will show that oh this girl she's decent, she's dressing good. You know, there's some dressing you dress, normal to you is the normal dressing, but to others is indecent. So what kind of dressing do you think a student should dress that it will look decent to your
talking about that dressing. They said there is one adage. They said if you are in the room, behave like the room. So if you are in the north, schooling in the north, you already know their dress code. They like putting on clothes that will cover, most especially for the women. That even if it's not compulsory that you put on hijab or gingham, but you put on a long clothes that will cover. Even if you are putting on a trouser, let your shirt cover you. But for
Yes, I'm
instance, if
talking by experience because even though you're not from the north, but you're schooling here, take a very good at your dressing now. You see, it's a decent dressing for someone that's not from the north. So it's just a good example that you're giving.
yes, and like those schooling in the east, there is the way you dress. Like if you are dressing like a northerner, put on long clothes and put on that gingham. They'll even be laughing at you that look at this one, she dressed like a masquerade. So that is why I said that adage, if you are in the room, behave like the room. If anywhere you are, you already know this is their culture. Behave like them so that they will identify you as them.
sorry, back to you, Mr. Unisa. We see plagiarism as abomination. Can you shed more light?
Well, when we talk of plagiarism, in a layman term, simply means using someone's intellectual material without attribution or without giving him that credit. So plagiarism is an academic suicide. Let me use this word because someone's use his intellectual or use his intellect and come up with an idea. Instead of you to like seek for his permission, you just go and copy it, maybe paste it, or copy it and
Just
use
like
it.
just like AI,
Yes,
generation.
just like AI generated content. You just go and copy directly what that person has done. Then you now use it as you are the one that used that work. So that one is totally immoral and it is unacceptable in an academic line. Once you copy someone's work, attribute, that is, give him a credit that this work has been done by so person. In an academic line, that's how they do, because there is reference. If you use someone's work, give him reference, attribute that work to him, give him credit. That's just it.
Thank you, Miss Patty. Like we're back then when we were in school, like for instance, maybe there are some lectures that is very boring, like some class that they
Yeah.
will be teaching you just those of sleep off. Don't you think that sleeping in class is part of abomination?
Yeah, it is.
So shed us more light.
It is. Sleeping in class is part of it. But at times you get to like kind of look at the situations around because you have so many activities doing. You might like just like when we did our production. We left this school around let me say was it around 10 and we did not even come back. It was around 7. Sorry for my English, I might be using broken too. So we came back around 7 or after 7. That means and we have to even come to school in the morning around 8. So if you check one or two activities, the thing is not easy, but it's not good, sha. And a student needs to rest. But we're having this back to back, back to back. Though it's not an excuse. I'm just
It's
saying
not really an
it's not. Yeah,
The
it
thing
is
is
not.
that it
But
depends on the student. Most students just don't like some lecturers.
yeah,
They just don't like the lecturer. So they will even at times want to show the lecturers that they don't like him. Some lecturers will just walk into the class. So you see some students walking out, making the lecturer know and feel that they don't like him. Some will be sleeping, some will be pressing phone. So
yeah,
it is
it's
something
bad. It's not
very bad.
Yeah, it's not. Seriously, it is.
Wow.
Exam malpractice is not something to participate in.
Mm.
Mostly, let's talk about all the HND, all these final year students. What will you think now? After all the suffer, your money, your stress, whatever, your parents suffering, even though if you're not paying your school fees for yourself, but you have to consider. Then what would happen now? Just because one fateful morning you went to exam hall and did the exam malpractice, and you're caught.
Mm.
So
Yeah.
how are we going to? I don't really know where to
Even
start.
even
Yes.
Yes.
some lecturers once marking
When
your
it comes
script,
to examination, I don't think there are people that are going to use phone. Maybe they'll use something else.
Mm.
But if you got your
students
friends
know
whereby
their
you're
way.
using phones,
Students know how
you
they
think
maneuver things.
Some will
Students
come
know
with
their
their
way.
cheap knot.
Do you know what? Actually, you guys have really done justice to all these examination, abomination topics. You guys have really tried a lot. To round everything up, uh, Mr. Unisa, what is your point or your advice to the student concerning abomination within the school premises?
Well,
Round up the whole scenario.
thank you very much. What I want to call or draw the attention of the student to shun away with is abusing drugs. That is drugs abuse. Drugs abuse is a mother of all crime. Once someone partake in abusing drugs, that person will damage his memory because that partaking in drugs abuse will lead him to so many kind of abomination. He will
and
go
distraction. Because the
exactly.
time that he's supposed to use to read for his exams or think of something good to do with his life, you'll be there taking drugs, moving from one place
Yes.
to another, following friends that are not
That's
they
really
are not worth following.
And
That's
once
really
the money is not there to
lead
buy
to
the
stealing.
drug, it will lead to other
That's it.
crimes too.
So I'm calling the attention of the student to shun away with any kind of substance abuse. They should be in a
Yeah.
way that God created them. They shouldn't take something that will make them high. Because once someone is lose his conscious, he will be doing things that is abnormal, things that is immoral.
Yeah.
And that will lead him to do so many things that is abominable act within the school premises.
Yeah.
That's my own take for now.
Thank you so much. You have really tried. I really appreciate your coming. It's a very wonderful day, and we are going to be closing from here. And please stay tuned. Always subscribe to this channel and make sure you share and like. Thank you so much.